This is my channel about everything health, wellness, lifestyle, travel, spirituality, you name it. If it's empowering, we're talking about it. If you're new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a subscriber and if you've seen previous videos, thank you for coming back and clicking on this particular video. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be talking about what my boyfriend thinks about my hirsutism. So for those of you who haven't seen my previous vlogs or videos, you won't know this, but I have something called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and basically it's an imbalance in some hormones within my body, and it can cause issues such as excess facial hair, and for other women it could be absent periods and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what I deal with. And hirsutism is the presence of the hair in unwanted places, basically, where you don't typically as a female usually get hair. So yeah, I've been dealing with hirsutism for quite a while, and at the moment it's greatly reduced, and I'm going to do a video on that and talk about how and why, and yeah, like what my journey has been up until this point, because yeah, things are up, things are on the up, things are looking good, and that's an indication that my hormones are balancing out really, really well. So yeah, I'm gonna find out what he thinks. I've composed like a list of questions, like about 5 or 6 questions, and he doesn't know what these questions are. He doesn't have time to prep for them. I want to capture his natural, organic reaction and yeah, see what he thinks truthfully. Here it goes. So this is Babes. Babes, do you want to introduce yourself? Who are you?
My name is Daniel.
Who are you to me?
I'm your partner.
Okay, I'm glad you know. So I've got a list of questions, and I want you to answer them honestly. I don't want you to overthink them. I just want your natural, I want to capture your natural, honest reaction. So you know what the topic is, right? What's the topic?
You didn't actually tell me. It's something to do with your what's it called? Hirsutism. Hirsutism.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good enough. That's good enough. So, are you nervous? Because you look kind of.
No, I'm not nervous.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. All right. You're gonna. Okay. Let's see. So, first question number 1. Do you know what hirsutism is, and do you understand what causes it?
I didn't know it by that term, but I guess it's where women start to grow facial hair, and it's caused by hormone imbalances.
Okay, I'll give you that, because that's pretty much my understanding. So it's not, it might not just be facial hair, it could be hair in just unusual places or excess hair. So for example, some women might have it on their chest, some women might have it on like really hairy arms or something like that, somewhere where you don't typically get it. But yeah, the imbalance of hormones can often cause hirsutism. So you get 1 point for that. Okay. Question number 2. Does it bother you that I have random hair on my face sometimes?
I wouldn't say it doesn't bother me that you have it, because I understand it, but it indicates that there's something going wrong with you.
Okay. But
it bothers me because it indicates that there's something going wrong with you.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Question number 3. Do you find me unattractive when it's there?
No, but I wouldn't know. But it's noticeable.
But the question was unattractive.
No, not particularly. But sometimes you can tell that it's there. Like if it got to a point where it be too much, like excess growth, then if it, like me know you look like me. You understand? So if it got to a point where you need shape up and line up and everything there. No,
Hold on.
Okay, but it's a matter of understanding.
But you also know that that's not the case because you have witnessed like what.
But this is what I'm saying. Well, this is what I'm saying.
Which varies for different women. So for me, it ain't what you got, but for some women,
but what may I say is, I've been there from earlier stages where, you know, it wasn't as good as it looks now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's a certain level of understanding that I have.
Okay.
So to me, when you understand something, it don't really bother you like that. So it's a matter of understanding. And I'm not just here for the external.
Okay.
But at the same time, you know, when you walk up and down with a beard.
Fair enough. Alright. Wow, that was new information to me. Didn't realise that would be a long pause on that question. I thought that would be a brief one. You know, learn new things every day. So question number 4. What words of encouragement do you have for those who are afraid to show their partner what's going on with them?
Most people fear things that them not understand. So first you have to understand what it is. You understand? You have to understand what it is. Then you won't have once you understand it, it will eradicate a certain level of fear, and you needed a certain level of validation. Not to say that you're gonna want it, but having understanding it allows you to know the limits and the levels, so you know how to approach it. You know roughly how long it's gonna take to fix. You know what you have to do to fix it. Then now you can explain to somebody, listen, this is what's happening, and depending on how they deal with it, then you can act accordingly. Then you know, say, okay, this is not the person for me. Okay, this person doesn't want to deal with somebody who has this situation. So it's about understanding. It's not about hiding and cover up. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's obviously easier said than done when you're not the person going through something, but I do think that what you said is true, and I think that if you are in a space where you're maybe in a new relationship, or you're dating someone, or you're trying to like date and meet somebody, and you haven't explained to them what's going on with you, and maybe you're getting to the stage where you want to be intimate with that person as well, like that could be something that holds you back because you're not being open and transparent with your vulnerabilities. And in order for you to work through that and to have somebody support you along the way, you have to be honest and truthful with where you are at and what's going on. Because everybody has their insecurities in some way, shape or form. So yeah, I just think what I would say is talk about it, understand it deeply for yourself, like what it is, what causes it, and how you can work towards changing that, and have that conversation with that person, because I think they can possibly help you along the journey in terms of, if we know that it's hormone related, then there's certain foods that you're not really supposed to be eating, there's maybe more exercise you need to do, and you can explain like, these are things that I need to do, perhaps we can work on these things together. So yeah, I think being open and transparent earlier on, rather than trying to hide what's going on with you, is probably the best port of call. I like what you said, Ray. I like what you said. Alright. And my last question for you is, what advice could you give to men who have partners with this condition?
Well, men, it's the same thing. You have to have a certain level of understanding, and you got to be honest with yourself, and look at the relationship and look at the person, and consider where you are and what that person means to you. You understand? If that person is bringing an excessive amount of value to your relationship, you have to weigh up, do I want to push that person away because of something that in most times can be fixable or curable, and lose out, and then ending up with somebody who doesn't have that problem, but they're the worst person in the world in terms of personality traits and etc. etc. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you know, that's what from a male's perspective, that's what you have to weigh up, and you have to take into consideration. A lot of times, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem with the men is how to approach it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I think how to approach it, because then again, some women are sensitive, and it's like the thing's there, and you don't want to talk about it. Or if you talk about it, you know, you got to talk about it a specific way, or you got to wait until they're ready to have the conversation.
Mm-hmm. And remember, with women, like, society makes you feel like there are certain standards that you need to live up to. Now, every woman is different, and every woman will experience that differently. For some women, certain things, certain external pressures don't bother them, but it doesn't mean to say that this particular condition doesn't. And talking about it is a big deal, and you have to be tactful, and sometimes it is a bit of a process, or it might be a bit long to wait and have that conversation until she's ready. But at the end of the day, it's her that's experiencing this. In small doses, give her words of encouragement or upliftment about perhaps how she looks, because a lot of it is that in the moment. It's like that person thinks that they look awful in that moment, and what they need is someone to encourage them and say, actually, you don't. This is all like external stuff that can be dealt with. You still look beautiful, and you still are beautiful inside as well as out. Mentally, I think a lot of us don't think that we're beautiful because of this, and that is the truth. You know, that's why people hide it. That's why they go around and hide it. Because if you were unbothered by it, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't hide it, and so that person may still need encouragement along the way about their self-esteem. Do you see what I'm saying? So I know the question was to you about what advice would you give men, but I'm thinking as well about that question. I think the advice that I would give to men is to, yes, try and have conversations and be tactful about it, but I think uplift her about her appearance, because that is most of it is about that. Just encourage her, uplift her, support her. You know, make it feel like the process that she's going through is like, it's okay, it's normal, it's comfortable. You know, if she feels like she needs to do some hair removal, it not be a thing where she feels like she needs to hide it. Or, do you see what I'm saying? Even if she does want to have a private moment and do it, not making it feel like it's taboo. Does that make sense? Because I think it's those things that will help her confidence. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, her confidence. And I think that's also speaking from experience.
So how did I help you, or did I make it difficult for you?
I didn't expect the questions to come back, but since you asked, I think you helped me by making the conversation surrounding it normal. And because you are a huge advocate for health, wellness, and natural health and holistic health, it made it easier to have conversations about why this is happening, what could be done. And yeah, I think that's where you were a big support. You actually were an integral part of me actually facing the issue, you know, rather than looking at it and thinking, yeah, I've got this thing that I need to deal with. It's like you were like, no, this is something that you kind of need to look into. Like, this is an indication of X, Y, and Z. And we kept having conversations about it, so much so that I ended up going to doctors. We ended up going to the hospital to have like scans and whatnot. Like, yeah, it became a comfortable conversation to have with you. So I think that's how you supported me, and I think, yeah, that's in a relationship. I think that's what's needed. Like, certain conversations to not be taboo. You should be comfortable to have these conversations with your partner because they're important. They're about your health. It's not just about the external. It's about what's going on.
Yeah, it's deeper. It has deeper indications, and them thing there you need to sort them out, because two things that are taxing and on humans, and the longer you stay in them is the more expensive it is to come out of them. One is poverty, and the second one is bad health. The longer you stay in an unhealthy situation, it's the harder it's going to take for you to come out of it.
Yeah.
The 10, 15, 20 years where you sit down and eat the wrong food and eat the processed sugar and bad flour, that'll take a longer time to come out. You ain't going to just snap your finger or drink flat tummy tea and fix the problem. That ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Because you've been eating crap for 15 years. It ain't going to work. So, you know.
Wow. It was good to get your perspectives and, you know, your responses to some of those questions. So yeah, thank you. High five. Much appreciated. If you liked this video, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos about health, wellness, and you name it.
Tell the people to follow me too.
Oh, sorry, and follow. Oh, sorry. And follow. Don't forget to follow. Subscribe to
Top 5 Guy on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook.
I'll put all your socials in the description. Yeah?
Thank you.
You're welcome.